Hello guys, welcome back to another lecture in this course. In this video, we shall be looking into Python variables, or we shall be looking into variables. Let us start by clear this kernel. Let's restart our output and clear the kernel. Okay. Right, so after clearing the kernel, let us discuss about Python variables or a variable. Variables are memory locations used to store data, and they are assigned the values using the sign or the equal sign. This is the syntax to declare a variable in Python. You say variable, you name your variable first, then you assign it by using an equal sign, then you pass the value that you want to store. Here, you want to store, let us say $5. Account number, okay, that's your account number. This account number is equal to, we are storing $5 in our account number. And also, we want to store the account name, the holder name of the account. So let us say account underscore user, the account user name. Okay, this is the username for the account. Let us say the name, let us say Fanuel. So you are saying, for example, you are having a bank card, and in the bank card you have only $5 here, and this is your account number. So your account number is a variable which is storing $5, and account username is a variable, and a variable also is storing your name. So in Python also we have what we call a print function, or a print statement, or a word called print, like this, print. So this print word is a print function, or it's a function. Its purpose is to display data stored and processed data after computation. So for example, here we have stored $5 in our account number, and we have stored this name, Fanuel, in this username. So if you want to display print, then we request the data that we have stored. So you have to write the variable here, account underscore number. Also print account underscore username. So if we print this, we'll get 5 and Fanuel. In variables, you can store different data types. For example, you can store, let us say, store float. So you can store a float value which is equals to, let us say, 0,5. This is a float value which we have stored. So we can print this stored value float, then we run here. You can see the output is 0,5, and at the same time also we can store a string that we have seen here. This is a string value. A variable can also store this. Let us pass a comment. Create a program which calculate simple interest. So we use variables to create those programs which calculate simple interest. For example, we want to calculate simple interest. So let us say I is equals to the interest that we don't know. Okay, I is equals to the interest. So we have to put maybe a question mark there. Okay, so what we can do now, let us start by typing rate. We want to find the simple interest. So let us say rate is equals to, let us assume 10%, and let us say principal amount is equals to, let us just put a random number, 50,000 or 500,000. Let us say time is equals to 4 years. So here we are assigning our variables. Equal sign is used to assign data to store in in a variable. Okay, now let us calculate the simple interest. So to calculate the simple interest, we say interest is equals to, then we open bracket, then we say our principal amount, and I believe all of us, we know the formula to calculate the simple interest. It is just interest is equals to principal rate times time all over 100. So I think everyone knows this formula. So principal times, so we use asterisk or star to depict the multiplication sign, rate times time over 100. Then we print interest. When we run our code, okay, syntax error there. Okay, so on our rate, we have to remove this percentage because this percentage is represented by this over 100. Okay, so we just have to remove this percentage sign. So for sure, this is invalid syntax. So let us run our code here. All right then. So this is the simple interest answer. So if we are to go here on Google and find a simple interest calculator, simple interest calculator here on Google, simple interest calculator, for example, this one. Okay, so here we just put 500,000. This is 500,000. Here we put 500,000. Then rate we put 10%. Then the time we said 4 years. So we just click calculate here. Okay then, so we get our answer here, which is 200,000, as you can see here. The answer which we have calculated here that we have get, which is 200,000. So this also depicts that we have calculated well our solution. Okay, let us close this. So we have actually used Python code to solve simple interest solution. So if you're having mathematical problems that you want to solve, either you want to draw linear graphs, you want to solve mathematical equations, you just have to assign those equations as variables, then you can solve. So with Python, you can manipulate any data you want, any mathematical manipulation that you think you can want to solve. So you have to make sure that you know how to identify your variables so that you'll be able to manipulate your data well. In Python, for machine learning, variables are essential, or they play a significant role in machine learning and artificial intelligence programming. You should know how to make your variables and how to remember your variables. So this example, I think it gives you a clear overview on what is a variable and how you can use variables to manipulate data. And make sure when you are choosing the variables or when you are making variables, make sure that they are very short. Don't make long variable statements. Just make sure that the wording is very small. And if it is a big wording, like what I did here on customer number, I put an underscore. Don't put spaces when you are creating a variable. For example, if you do this, you run into a syntax error. You don't have to add a space on variables, okay? You have to make sure that there is no space there. And also variables, they do not begin or they do not start with a number. Make sure that you avoid numbers. Don't start variables, they don't start with a number. You run into a syntax error also. So make sure when you are naming your variables, make sure they are short. You don't start with the number, and avoid the abbreviations, because if you are putting abbreviations, sometimes you forget, for example, the name of the variable. Make sure always avoid using abbreviations so that you'll be able to refer back that variable in the long run. But if you use an abbreviation, you might forget. So I think this is all for this lesson. Thank you for watching. See you on the next lesson. Bye-bye.